Hi guys! Welcome to a special guest edition of In the Glow. I have the so lovely Ivan. Ivan, can you share your Instagram handle for everyone?
My name is Ivan. My Instagram handle is Ivan Ba.
Okay.
5 A's and H.
So if you want to check out his Instagram, go there. He has some really cool makeup, beauty advice, all that good stuff. And today he's on the show because, among other things, beyond being an influencer, Ivan has been around with the Paula's Choice family for quite some time in terms of using the products.
It's been a couple years, yeah.
It's been a couple years. He has some good tips, and we're also going to talk about his skin concerns. So as we're going along, please write in with your questions. We'll take them as we go.
Yes, please.
But let's just jump into things. So first of all, tell me how you got into the whole influencer sphere and beauty, and then how you found Paula's Choice.
So the whole influencer sphere, it's hard to pinpoint when I first started, but I think it started because I was going to school for nutrition, so I really just love wellness and self-care and stuff like that, and I was really into always into skin. I mean, in Asia, people just love skin. So
you also have beautiful skin.
It was a lot of work and a lot of trying out products, but I think just because I grew up not knowing how much skin is ingrained in the culture, so I thought it was just normal when I came here, there was very little products that actually were that amazing for the skin, and a lot of it I feel was very stripping. I remember toners back then were just so people just thought of toners as astringent and alcohol-y, and that's just the norm, right? So I was kind of shocked when I came here, and I just people just use witch hazel and alcohol. And I was wow.
Luckily, we do toners so different at Paula's Choice, but I had the same experience when I was growing up. It was always about those stripping toners, and I thought because I had oily skin that's what my skin needed, but obviously the opposite is true.
Yeah, for sure. So I think in Asia, growing up, people would use more softeners, they would call it. It's more like a nourishing type of toner.
Yeah.
And then I didn't find it here, and then also the climate here is more dry, so I just started using a lot of products. I started breaking out more, and I just wanted to share my experience, and that's when I started posting on YouTube more. And back then, YouTube was not a business where it is now. People were just sharing what they loved, and that's how I sort of started. And then in school, I also just wanted to talk about just upkeeping your skincare, wellness, and then school, and then figuring out everything. So that's how I started as an influencer, YouTuber.
So then at what point did you discover Paula's Choice, and how?
I actually discovered Paula's Choice because I was at CVS or Target, and I was looking up reviews for products. So I would search which were the best foundations for acne-prone skin, or the best concealers for acne-prone skin, because when you have acne, I feel you're a little bit more careful with what you use.
Definitely nervous about something breaking you out.
Especially with anything touching your complexion, you know. Eye products are a little bit okay, yeah. But I stumbled upon Beautypedia, and that's where I started learning about ingredients, and also just seeing the product formulation is worth it. Is it good for the skin? And I would very much trust Beautypedia.
Yeah.
And other than that, I also watch other YouTubers to see what their reviews on products are, and then that's how I.
So through Beautypedia is how you found Paula's Choice.
I was like, what is this? And then I used the BHA first, and back then I didn't even know about chemical exfoliants. I would use the St. Ives.
Oh gosh, we all did that St. Ives scrub.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then, now I still use the St. Ives for my feet and stuff.
Yeah.
It's fine,
those hard calloused areas.
Here, it's totally okay, but not. Yeah, I don't use that on the face anymore, and so that's very how I found Paula's Choice, the BHA, and I tried out their SPF, and I'm so glad I did, because at the time it was pricey for me as a college student, but instead of buying 3 things that sort of irritated my skin, I
found the one that actually worked.
I used to use the, I don't know if they're still in store, ROC Rock. Yeah, their SPF 30 retinol in the daytime, and it burned my skin. Yeah, I had retinol, and in the daytime, I remember that, and I was like, this is not it.
That is why, so we still run Beautypedia. It's our sister website for those of you who don't know, where we do reviews of all of the brands, skincare and makeup. And I will tell you firsthand, I'm one of the people who reviews for Beautypedia, and sometimes as a human guinea pig for testing out products, things happen. This week, I actually had a terrible. I am doing the hard work. I'm doing the dirty work for you guys.
Skin, yeah.
I had a horrible reaction to something I was testing. So you guys luckily can go to Beautypedia as a resource to look up almost any brand, and you can use it in store on your phone just like Ivan did. And that is how a lot of people find out about us and about our products.
I definitely think Beautypedia websites like those definitely help in terms of empowering yourself as a consumer, because you need to know you don't need to know everything about formulations, I feel like, as a consumer, because you have other things in your life.
Yeah, it's a full-time job for us.
Exactly. But at least it's a place where you can sort of know what products are good and what ingredients, at least the basics, to sort of go forward.
We talk about that a lot, because for the average person to look at the back of the product and read that ingredient list, it's so difficult. And I mean, there is a whole team of us here looking at the research on a constant basis. So you can't always trust us. We are doing the hard work for you. And then for those of you who want to go a step further, we have our cosmetic ingredient dictionary on paulaschoice.com. So you can look up any ingredient. We'll show you the research behind it to tell you whether it's good or bad or somewhere in between. So you really are empowered.
Yeah, it's
I love that you brought that up.
Or you just need to make your own decisions with everything, It's great.
So let's get into some of your favorite products. I know, let's start with the 2% BHA, because you already mentioned that one a bit.
This is one of probably a product that changed my life, I think, especially when I was younger and more congested and breaking out a lot more. And I used to work at a server job, so I would wear makeup and still serve and start sweating. And
yes, and it gets hot and humid.
Yeah, in the kitchen, and a lot of congestion. So I think at the time, even now, there's not that many drugstore products that have BHA even, or
if they do, it's not at the right pH, or it's in a rinse-off formula,
or just spot treatments. So not really a toner type of liquid like this. So this really changed texture for me and just helped me with my breakouts, and it was just easier, for nighttime.
Can I just say, I'm staring at your skin. You literally don't have pores.
All my makeup,
BHA is clearly working for you.
The BHA is really good for just texture in general.
Yeah.
I think for textured skin types.
And for me, it was the thing that really cleared up my acne. Just decongested those breakouts, got in, cleared out the pores, and helps with blackheads. So
yeah, I would say definitely. I don't. Definitely try not to use it on the eyes, because I think that's not a mistake. But at first when I was just
Paula would tell you different. She loves using it all the way up there. You don't use it on the eyelids, but
I try not to I tried to get it not as close as possible to the eyes, just for myself.
Yes, everybody has different experiences too, so you have to pay attention to what your skin is telling you. If anything ever looks inflamed or feels itchy or anything like that, you don't want to tip the scale towards irritation. So that's definitely smart.
And I definitely think there's a sort of a purging. I don't know if purging is a real thing, but I definitely think you will start seeing things
for some,
at first.
For some people that can happen. We actually have an article on paulaschoice.com explaining what some people experience. And basically, as you're decongesting those clogs that are deeper rooted, sometimes they do come to the surface in those first couple weeks. So that's what people experience as the purging phenomenon. Not everybody goes through it, but just get through it, and then you'll start to see the results.
I think definitely you have to get past a couple weeks of use, maybe 2 weeks of using it, for it to actually feel comfortable using it slowly, because you are using a chemical exfoliant. If you're not used to that, it could take some getting used to, for sure.
Yeah, that's good advice. And again, it's just such an individual response. For some people, it's like that. They can use it. And for others, you need to experiment slowly, start out maybe once every 3 days, see how your skin is doing.
I definitely think that, this one and this two, I get the most responses, DM-wise, oh, that really helped my texture, that really helped, and
So let's jump into this one, our Essential Glow SPF 30.
Yeah, so I think this is a newer product, though, right? Because back then, I think I used this one a little bit more, but this one is just, it's a mineral sunscreen and super gentle, and
gives you that nice glow.
Yeah, it like makes you look like you're like healthy and dewy and just glowy. And so I like this. I like this a lot.
And the cool thing about that formula is from being in our defense line, it's all about protecting your skin from environmental stressors. So we have some of the tried and true antioxidants in there that we have tons of research on for years and years and years. And then we included antioxidants that have newer research behind them, showing how they really can help with different types of environmental aggressors. So we took this really well-rounded approach to, not only giving your skin that sun protection, but protection from everything from the ozone, car exhaust, small particulate matter, all of those pollutants that are attacking your skin on the daily. And if you guys don't believe that pollution is really fighting or attacking your skin, I got myself an air pollution tracker device, and so I'll wear it on my backpack when I land in a city for work, and I'll walk around, and it'll measure the air pollution. So it'll measure the volatile organic compounds. It'll measure the particulate matter, different forms of pollution, and it's pretty wild to see, in different areas how extreme the pollution is. And it just is a good reminder for me that those things really are getting into skin, and so unless you're using products to stop that, then your skin is at risk. So I think this is a really great product for that. Also, our triple algae pollution shield that recently launched is another really cool one.
And I think like SPF is so just important in general, but a lot of things can go into like deterring you from wearing SPF, just because I know traditionally a lot of people break out from wearing like sunscreen and like SPF. So this one is such a lightweight whipped formula that you almost don't feel it on the skin.
Yeah.
And so even then itself, it's like one step that you, like sometimes you just don't want to do it because it feels goopy, right? So if it's like a good formula and makeup glides on nicely on it, it just makes sense,
Yes,
so
that is a really nice feeling formula.
And it takes, I always say, there's so many things in the world you can't prevent, like anxiety, like in general, in the day-to-day, like your job, anxiety, stress, pollution, just life. You can't really prevent that. But one thing you can't prevent is just like putting on sunscreen like a minute a day. Like that's,
I like that.
Like that's just at least one thing you can do for yourself. That it's like, oh well, I'm doing something, because a lot of things you can't really control in the world,
And the thing with sunscreen, as we've said on In the Glow many times, is it really is the #1 way to prevent aging. You can do everything else in the world, and trust me, there are great formulas, great ingredients that can really help with aging. But if you want to prevent those signs of aging from getting worse or from really taking a major effect in the first place, sunscreen is your #1 defense to do that. So just be smart about it, people. So you used to use this one as well.
Use this one as well,
Okay, the Super Light Daily Wrinkle Defense, and this one has a tint to it.
A slight tint to it, So it also really makes the skin look really nice. I feel like the formula, feeling-wise, is pretty similar, except this one feels more moisturizing, I feel like, and also more. There's a little bit of coverage there. Yeah,
you get a little bit of coverage. This one's more glowy versus this one dries down more of like a natural matte type of finish.
Yeah, so they're both really, I like them. And is it? This one's pure zinc, and this one has titanium.
Yes, so they're both mineral sunscreens, which is really good for anybody who has sensitive skin or people who get, they might be fine with sunscreen all over their face, but under the eye area, they're a little bit more sensitive. So I always say go mineral if you're one of those people who has that sensitizing reaction.
I feel like that's what one thing a lot of people don't realize is that they always say they're allergic to sunscreen, and then they're like, oh, I'm rashy, I'm burning, but oftentimes you're using like chemical sunscreen, so it makes sense. Also.
Yeah, and synthetic sunscreens, it's not that they're bad, but certain people, as you're saying, have those reactions. So if you find that that's you, just make the switch. Okay, so let's jump into this product.
Is this a new product or like?
It's been around for a while. It's one of our booster OGs.
Like it was in like a silver packaging before.
Yes.
Yeah, like a little tube. Yeah, I remember this. Because, when I would break out, I would find things to sort of lighten my pigmentation. And this was one of the spot treatments. Because sometimes you just need to lighten up different spots, right? So I used to use this as a spot treatment, and then I would dilute it with something to apply all over my face. So I just think it's like a great vitamin.
So you would get the overall brightening effect of it, and then also spot treat for those post-breakout marks. Yeah, for me, I would find with my acne, the pimple would go away soon enough, but I would be left with that scar, with that
for sure.
hyperpigmentation for so long. So the C25 is a really great way to just fade that, speed up that fading process. We have a question.
We did have a question earlier about post-acne marks and dark spots and how to get rid of them. Is the C25 the only option in our line, or do we have more?
We have more options as well. I would say this is a really potent, powerful one, so use that. Also, if you're using the 2% BHA liquid, that helps with that skin cell turnover, so you're just kind of speeding up the exfoliation process. That helps the fading to a certain degree.
Yeah.
And then I also really like our azelaic acid booster. So instead of spot treating, which I would do more with the C25, with the azelaic, I just put it all over.
Yeah.
Have you tried that one?
Yeah, I have tried the azelaic. I like that one too for nighttime.
Yes.
Yeah, for nighttime.
And then how often do you suggest using the C25 spot treatment, like starting out? Do you think it's okay to use once a day or less than that?
I personally probably use it like every other night, just because if you use too much of vitamin C, I feel like it does sting a little bit. But I just like spot treat anyways. And if it does sting, I usually buffer it with some moisturizer or just like apply it more thinly.
Yeah, we always say pay attention to what your individual skin is telling you. So, if you are having a reaction or stinging or any redness or irritation, then either cut back, or it might just not be for you. It might be too potent for your skin. For somebody like me, I can use the C25 as a spot treatment every single day. So it's really just up to your individual response.
Yeah.
Any other questions before we move on?
We had a question about our BHA body treatment and if that's okay to use on the face.
It actually is. We do have a lot of people who actually do that. So you're getting the 2% concentration in a lotion form. You can absolutely use it on your elbows, feet, all those places that you were using the St. Ives scrub. Use that BHA body lotion, but there is no reason you cannot use it on your face if your skin likes a lotion texture. So maybe if you're somebody who's ultra breakout prone, and don't want to use that type of texture on your face, then of course our liquids are really good bet, or even our gels. But for somebody who's maybe more of like that dehydrated or almost dry skin, that lotion is a great way to go.
I used to use the retinol. Do you guys still have that?
The retinol body lotion. I can't remember if we still have it. Yeah, we still have it.
I used to use it on my face too.
Yeah.
It's like,
Good bang for your buck.
Yeah.
Do you have any other off-label usages for products, like anything that you use in an interesting way?
I still have the giant Hydrolyte. I don't know if you guys, it's like a 64 ounce.
The ginormous cleanser
I still
of the
have that with
Hydrolyte.
the old packaging. I use it on my body, like washing my body, because it's great.
Yes.
Yeah. And I don't know, that's such a huge size. I used to wash my brushes with it also.
That's a good tip.
Oh,
So a lot of people think they need to buy special brush cleaners.
Yeah.
You can use a clear shampoo.
Yeah,
You can use a clear cleanser. Pretty much anything that's not like too emollient type of a texture of a cleanser, you're pretty much okay with. And then always just be careful to not get, all the way to the base of where the bristles attach, because then you'll break down those brush hairs. But absolutely, you don't need to go buy a special fancy brush cleaner.
Yeah.
Ivan, how do you get such beautiful dewy skin? Someone is asking.
Oh, I'm wearing like highlighter. Like a little cream highlighter, but dewy skin, I don't know. I feel like chemical exfoliants do that for the skin, like AHA and BHAs. Make your skin have that sort of like an apple sheen, apple-looking sheen.
They take off the dullness, so you can see that natural glow underneath, which I think is a lot of the benefit that people don't know exactly what to pinpoint the chemical exfoliant is doing for them.
Yeah.
But when you think about how it's really just taking off that layer of built up dead skin, you see
like
the
brighter.
glow.
Yeah. And also massages help yours. In terms of like circulation, I feel like one thing that really helped my circulation is massaging when I'm cleansing my face. So like when I'm using like a cleansing oil or a cleansing balm, I'll just use my knuckles and go like this to help circulation. And I feel like circulation really helps with my under eyes. So when my under eyes are like less tired looking, overall I will just look brighter. And like cream highlighter.
And if you're using the Essential Glow, I'm gonna say that's helping.
Yeah, the Essential Glow definitely like gives it like a nice sheen, not like an oily sheen, but like a very radiant would be the word.
I think so too. I don't use it all over because, as many of you know who watch this regularly, you know, with my oily skin, I use this as more of my all over sunscreen, and then I use this on my under eyes and cheek area, and I just love that pop of glow that it gives. It's really, really nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so any other favorites besides the 4 we have here?
These are like sort of things that I always go back to.
Yeah, your core.
Yeah, I sort of try a lot of things from Paula's Choice. I'm loving the sleeping mask. The green one.
Yeah,
I'm
the
not
Super
sure what
Hydrate overnight mask.
Yeah, that one's really nice. If you're looking for sort of like a gel, how would you, like a gel type?
Yeah, it's a gel, so it's not like a heavy cream, thick
but
mask.
it's still very nourishing and still it feels very hydrating. So when you wake up in the morning, you sort of feel very like plump.
Do you mask on a plane?
No. I used to when I was younger. I was like, oh,
now you're
I have
over
the time.
it.
Now I'm just like, I don't have the time. Like now I just listen to podcasts and fall asleep. It's like literally what my life is. Yeah, I wish I did though. I should. Also, it depends how long the flight is.
Yes.
If I'm going to Asia or like, you know, somewhere really far, more than 5 hours, okay. But if it's like 3 hours, I'm like, what's the point really? Like it's not that long of a flight.
Yes, and I don't know if we mentioned already that Ivan is from LA, so he flew down here. He's been here since Sunday.
Yeah, I love Seattle. It's so pretty.
We're trying to convince him to move here.
I'll come visit. Yeah.
Next question.
Can oily skin use the new hydrating sleeping mask, or would it be like too hydrating, would you say?
No, I think it's a light enough texture. You know, I have oily skin. It does not make me feel too heavy or greasy. And again, if you're somebody with oily skin, you might be the type who's actually washing it off, maybe not using it for that overnight factor, but it's pretty darn light. So I would say, yes, you can maybe just wash it off if you're really oily.
And Ivan, can you talk a little bit about your like previous struggle with acne and how you kind of overcame that?
So I still break out now, and that's the thing, like with a lot of people when I do like routines and talk about acne, I feel like I get a lot of, not lashback, but people sort of not believing me and also thinking that, oh, it's like over. But I don't think acne is really over because it's like a constant, it's like weight gain or weight loss. I feel like it's a constant like upkeep.
Yeah, you have to do the right things to keep it at bay. Some people do outgrow acne, but I haven't.
Yeah,
you haven't.
I still break out.
Paula hasn't.
Yeah, Paula hasn't.
Yeah, so I think when I talk about acne, a lot of people are like, how did you like overcome it? Well, it's like, it's still an ongoing process all the time. And honestly, finding the right products for you and, you know, like chemical exfoliants, BHA really did help my skin a lot. And I know a lot of people are sensitive to that, so you can try like other ingredients, like maybe azelaic acid. But I think it's everything, right? It's like my diet. I cut out a lot of dairy. That's one. I started double cleansing more. I stopped using those really drying astringent toners because
That's
I
a
feel
big
like,
deal.
yeah, because I feel like the more I strip my skin, the more it produced.
Yeah, there's actually research behind that. So it triggers, you know, an inflammation response that makes your skin actually produce more oil, which makes your breakouts worse.
Yeah.
So the exact opposite of what you think you're doing to skin when you're stripping it is you're really creating that problem more.
Yeah, and I think stress is a huge factor. And like I know a lot of people go through hormonal acne as well, and I thankfully never I went through that. But yeah, it's a lot of like just figuring out what causes your acne and then acting on trying to help that, you know. For me, dairy was a huge, like cheese and every day, like a lot of people think, oh, I only drink milk with my coffee. I only do creamer with my coffee. And that's like 1 or 2 a day coffee-wise, and they think it's not a lot. But over a course of like a month, you can have like 60 cups of coffee with creamer in it, and that's a lot, but you don't think it's a lot. But your body like has to process all of that, and if you're allergic to it, you're putting like stress and inflammation.
Inflammation is the root of all evil. When it comes
really
to skin problems, it really is.
Yeah, so
between wrinkles, acne, discoloration, inflammation really is at the root of everything.
Yeah, and inflammation causes breakdown of like your everything, collagen elastin. So
inflammation on the inside and on the outside, both ways. Yeah.
Would you guys recommend using the BHA both day and night? Somebody already uses it in the daytime, but would it be more effective for them if they used it both day and night?
I think it depends on the severity of what you're trying to treat. So maybe, you know, if you have pretty extensive severe acne and you want to use it twice a day to see if that helps kick up your results that much more, go for it. I'm somebody who finds one day is sufficient. So for some people, maybe doing it twice a day could tip the scale towards being a little irritating. However, I know we have a lot of people who use it day and night, and you absolutely are fine to do that. Of course, during the day, always follow with SPF, which you should be wearing anyways, but play around with it and see how your skin does.
Yeah.
And then what product would you recommend for somebody who is just starting out using retinol from our line?
So like in terms of which retinol product of ours? Okay, I really like the Resist Intensive Wrinkle Repair Serum with retinol. It's a more moderate strength. It's a really nice silky serum texture. And so I think that's a nice place to start. And then you can kick it up to a higher concentration, you know, like our 1% retinol booster or our clinical 1% retinol treatment after you've seen how your skin has done. But I would start with that Resist Intensive Wrinkle Repair.
Did you start using retinol like recently or?
I actually used the 1% retinol when I was younger, like it was
Yeah,
in a
the
purple
clinical.
pump, yeah. So I really like that one. I feel like that one also helped with my texture and acne.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I like it.
I mean, you can just jump straight to 1% like
Yeah.
Ivan did.
A
lot of people do.
Yeah, my skin, I feel like I didn't have any bad reactions with retinol. I know a lot of people like experience flaking and dryness, but I've never, like, I've even used like adapalene and all that, and I don't notice anything.
Yeah, it's really such an individual response.
Yeah.
And so if you do use, say, the 1% retinol and you think that your skin maybe has what we call the kickback response, then taper it down to once every few days. You can also buffer it. So a product that a lot of people here in the office like to use is our Moisture Renewal Oil Booster. So they'll apply that first and apply the retinol over, or vice versa, but it really just kind of helps soften that irritation effect that some people get. But retinol really, you know, we talk about it potentially being irritating, but for people like Ivan,
I
never experienced that. So it's, again, just so up to what your skin is going to do individually.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, well, that is the end of our show. Thank you so much for coming. I'm glad we had you all the way here from LA. And until next time, guys.
Bye.
Bye.